While the first half of Act 2 is about our protagonist's disorientation and struggle in a new environment, the second half is where the stakes intensify. The protagonist starts to find their footing, and the story propels toward its climax. This section is crucial in setting up the final confrontation in Act 3. 1. Regrouping and new plans, purpose. Following the midpoint, there's often a need for the protagonist and allies to regroup, reflect, and devise a new strategy or approach. Tip: this can be an introspective period, giving readers or viewers insight into the evolving mindset of the protagonist. 2. Rising action and escalating stakes. Purpose: tension increases as obstacles become more daunting and the protagonist's goals seem harder to achieve. Tip: ensure that each new challenge logically evolves from previous ones and feels organically integrated into the story. 3. Developing skills and gaining confidence. Purpose: the protagonist starts to show real growth, gaining competence, and more proactively tackling problems. Tip: use moments of triumph to contrast with their earlier loser hero phase, highlighting their development. 4. Deepening relationships and personal stakes. Purpose: as the climax approaches, personal stakes often intensify. Relationships, whether friendships, romances, or rivalries, become more crucial. Tip: emotional beats are critical here. The audience should deeply care about the outcomes for these characters. 5. Subplots coming to a head. Purpose: secondary storylines reach critical turning points, often intertwining with the primary narrative. Tip: ensure subplots complement or contrast with the main storyline, adding depth without overwhelming the central arc. 6. The dark night of the soul. Purpose: just before Act 3, the protagonist often faces their lowest point, a moment of despair, doubt, or significant setback. Tip: this moment should feel earned, the result of the accumulating challenges and tensions of Act 2. It sets up the necessity for a climactic push in Act 3. 7. Plot point 2, or the decision to act. Purpose: by the end of Act 2, something should galvanize the protagonist, pushing them toward the story's climax, whether it's a new revelation, a pep talk from an ally, or an internal realization. Tip: make this decision emotionally resonant. The audience should feel the protagonist's determination, fear, or desperation. In summary, the second half of Act 2 is where the narrative heat intensifies. The hero's journey transitions from one of reaction and exploration to one of action and determination. By the end of this act, your protagonist should be poised, though not necessarily ready, for the climactic confrontations of Act 3. This section lays the emotional and narrative groundwork to make Act 3's payoffs genuinely impactful.